The soldier's prayer to God is to kill and not to be killed. Welcome to section 9 of Surah Al-Anfal. Namshi. It starts with verse 65, ayah 65, sign 65. Ya ayuhan nabiyyu, harid al-mu'minun al-kitali. Harid al-mu'minun al-kital. O Prophet, Ya ayuhan nabiyyu, harid, rouse al-mu'minin, the believers, to fight al-kital. In yakum minkum ishruna sabiruna yaglibu mi'ataini yaglibu mi'ataini. In yakun lakum ishruna sabiruna yaglibu mi'ataini. If there are 20 amongst you, patient and persevering, sabirina, yaglibu mi'ataini, they will vanquish 200, mi'ataini. Wa in yakun minkum mi'atun yaglibu alfan min allazina kafaru. They will vanquish 200. If 100, they will vanquish 1,000. Mi'atun. Wa in yakum minkum mi'atun, 100, yaglibu alfan. They will vanquish 1,000. Min allazina kafaru, of the unbelievers. بأنهم قوم لا يفقهون. For these are people without understanding. Common people. La yafkahun, without understanding. Let's go to the commentary for that. Did we read the commentary for one, the previous verse? Let's see if we didn't. I can't remember quite. Let's go to the commentary. The unbelievers, the believers were lip profession of the believers. Mere lip profession of belief, or even the kind of belief that does not result in action, is not enough to those, full stop, to those whose belief is so sincere that it results in complete trust in God and in fearless action in His service. The consequences on this earth do not matter. God's grace, God's good pleasure is enough for them. That was the commentary for the last verse we read in the last section. Now we're going to the commentary for 65 of this version of this episode. Concerning fewer army on the side of the believers and 10 times that on the side of the unbelievers. Let's see. In a fight, odds of 10 to 1 against anyone are appalling. Yes, how can one fight 10 people? Are appalling. But they do not daunt the men of faith. Whether they personally win or die, their cause prevails. They are sure to win because 1, they have divine aid, and 2, even humanly speaking, those who take up arms against truth and righteousness are not fools, and their seeming power is but a broken reed. R-E-E-D. That's the commentary for verse 1, 2, 3, 2. Let's go to verse 66. Al-ana haffafa. Al-ana haffafa Allahu ankum. Al-ana haffafa Allahu ankum. For the present, God hath lightened your burden. God hath lightened your burden, ankum. Wa alima anna minkum da'fan. God has lightened your burden, for he knoweth that there is a weak spot in you. He knows that there is a weak spot, weak. Da'fan, weak. Wa alima anna fikum da'fan. And he knows that there is a weak spot in you. فَإِنْ يَكُنْ مِنْكُمْ مِئَةٌ No. وَإِنْ يَكُنْ مِنْكُمْ Sorry, I took the wrong line. I'm going to the right line now. وَإِنْ يَكُنْ مِنْكُمْ أَلْفٌ يَغْلِبُوا أَلْفَيْنِ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. That even though there is 100, even though if there are 100 of you, مِئَةٌ مِنْكُمْ يَغْلِبُوا أَلْفَيْنِ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. 100 of you, patient and persevering, they will vanquish 200. Sorry, I've read that before already. And if 1,000, they will vanquish 2,000. And if 1,000, they will vanquish 2,000. Here it is doubled, not tenfold. وَإِنْ يَكُنْ مِنْكُمْ أَلْفٌ يَغْلِبُوا أَلْفَيْنِ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. With the leave of God. That's with the permission of God, or with the aid of help God. That's bi-iznillah. Wallahu ma'as sabirin. With the leave of God. For God is with those who patiently persevere. For God is with those who patiently persevere. Let's go to the commentary for that. A weak spot. Given equal, the commentary is numbered 1, 2, 3, 3. Given equal conditions, Muslims, on account of their faith, could win against odds of 10 to 1. But if their organization and equipment are weak, as was the case about the time of Badr, they were set a lighter task and asked to tackle no more than odds of 2 to 1 against them. As a matter of fact, at Badr, they won through against odds of more than 3 to 1. So even God mentioned 2 to 1. If their enemies are double their number, they will win. But even then, the opponents were 3 times their number, and yet they won. I mean, the Muslims won. All right, let's go to the next verse. 67. ما كان للنبي أن يكون له أسرى حتى يثخن في الأرض. It is not fitting for a prophet, ما كان لنبي, it's not fitting for a prophet that he should have prisoners of war until he had thoroughly subdued the land. حتى until يثخن, subdued في الأرض, subdued the land. تريدون أرض الدنيا والله تريدون أرض الدنيا والله يريد الآخرة. Ye look for the temporal goods. Ye look for the temporal goods of this world. تريدون أرض الدنيا. You look for the temporal goods of this world. Wallahu yuridul al-akhirat. And God looketh to the hereafter. Wallahu azizun hakim. And God is exalted in might, wise. So what God is telling us here is that in war, we fear because we are our minds are on this world and the good of this world. But no, our mind should rather be on the hereafter or in the hereafter. And not only in war, in everything that we do, we should never forget the hereafter in whatever things that we do. And there is a commentary for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. An ordinary war may be for territory or trade. An ordinary war may be for territory or trade. We are still fighting it today. We are fighting for territory and trade. So the commentator said, an ordinary war may be for territory or trade, revenge or military glory. All temporal goods of the world, yes, all temporal goods of the world, they can change. All temporal goods of the world. Either they change or you change because you will die. There is always a change, possibility of a change. If there's no change, you, the person involved in the war, will certainly die, either in the war or after victory. Okay. Such a war is condemned, but a jihad is fought under strict conditions laid down by Islam and solely for cause of God. All baser motives, therefore, are strictly excluded. The gain in the shape of ransom from captives has no place in such warfare. So when you haven't finished fighting yet, never take captives. I think it's even dangerous. Yes, it's even dangerous if you take captives when you haven't, pardon me, when you haven't totally conquered the enemy. All right. God, huwa azizun, wallah huwa azizun hakim, and God is exalted in might, wise. ولو لا كتاب من الله سبق لمسكم سبق ومسكم فيما أخذتم عذاب عظيم. Had it not been for a previous ordinance, kitabun, lola kitabun minallahi sabaka lamasakum. Had it not been for previous ordainment from God, kitabun minallahi, previous sabaka lamasakum fima ahzahtum. You would have reached previous, here is sabaka. You would have reached a severe penalty would have reached you. So for am I mixing things up? A previous chastisement from God, a severe punishment would have reached you. Lamasakam fima ahzatum azabun azim. Would have reached you for for the ransom that ye took. For the ransom that you took. Fima azahtum. Fima azahtum. For the ransom that you took. Azabun alim. Severe punishment. For the ransom that ye took. The commentary is 1, 2, 3, 5. Let's go there. Though any motive of worldly gain, that's it. Though any motive of worldly gain, which may have been in the minds of some among the victorious Muslim army, is condemned as Muslim army, is condemned as worthy of a severe penalty. What actually happened is ascribed to the plan of God, which was preordained. Full stop. Among the prisoners taken were the prophet's uncle Abbas. Prophet's uncle Abbas and Hadirat, inverted commas, Ali's brother, Akil, who afterwards became Muslims. So you see, even the prophet's near family were enemies fighting him, who afterwards became Muslims. Abbas was an ancestor of the founder of the celebrated Abbas dynasty. Which played such a notable part in Islamic history. Full stop. In his case, the promise made in verse 70, we are yet to come to that. The promise made in verse 70 was amply fulfilled. Full stop. In the case of all prisoners, if there was any good in their hearts, their very fight against Islam and their captive led to their being blessed with Islam. Full stop. Thus does God's plan work. Thus does God's plan work in a marvelous way and evolve good out of seeming evil. And evolve good out of seeming evil. Then we go to the section, we go to verse 69, which appears to be the last verse. Looks like the sections here are short ones. good for us, isn't it? Okay. فَكُلُوا مِمَّا غَنِمْتُمْ حَلَالًا طَيِّبًا. فَكُلُوا مِمَّا غَنِمْتُمْ حَلَالًا طَيِّبًا. But enjoy what ye took, what you took, lawful and good, halalan wa tayyiban. But enjoy, into brackets now, the commentator has put now, enjoy now what ye took in war, lawful and good, halalan tayyiban. Waitaku Allah, and fear God. Waitaku Allah, and fear God. Inna Allah gafurun rahimin. For God is oft forgiving, most merciful. Let's go to the commentary. 1, 2, 3, 6. Oh, we've been referred somewhere. Enjoy, literally eat. Kulu is eat. But the commentary here, our intelligent men of wisdom knows that it's not interpreted as eat, but enjoy. So, enjoy, literally eat. See Surah 7, 19, note 104, and verse 66, note note 776. So that is the end of section 9 of chapter 8, Surah Al-Anfal of the Holy Quran. We shall pause here, and when we come back, we will go to section 10 to see what is there for us. So let me, as usual, salute my viewers. Thank you very much, and may God be with you. Illa Bye bye. Au revoir.